If you go thrifting a lot, you know that you find your fair share of really big wins, amazing thrift finds that you just can't believe that you got such a good deal on, but you also get your fair share of fails. Things that are a good deal at the time, seem like something amazing, but you get it home and it just sits in your closet and you realize it wasn't worth it. The thing about thrifting that's great is that it's so inexpensive. You can find sweaters, hoodies, and pants for $2, $5, $10, $8, but if you're not wearing it, it's not worth it. All of those little purchases here and there do add up. That's why I've definitely gotten a lot more rigid about what I'm thrifting. All these purchases, like I said, add up. I'd rather have the money in my wallet than the pieces hanging in the closet. So I thought it would be fun to show you guys my 5 worst thrift finds that are currently sitting in my closet right now. It pains me. It's so frustrating because I hate anything that's going to waste, clothes that goes to waste, money that goes to waste. But I thought instead of just showing you these pieces, I would share with you the lessons that I learned from each piece. Honestly, each piece that I thrift and that I wear or don't wear definitely helps me become a better thrifter. So I thought I'd share those with you. Some of these pieces you guys will probably recognize. I've literally thrifted them with you and thought they were the best thing ever, but for one reason or another I just ended up not wearing it. I hope we become better thrifters together. Yeah, I hope you just learn from some of my mistakes. Let's just jump in. The first find kills me because I was so excited for the shirt at the time. It is this bright pink Champion embroidered shirt. If you watched, I can't remember what their video was, but I was so excited for this. I really thought that this was in my color season. It looked retro. I thought this would just be such a fun pop of pink. However, I have not worn it once since getting it. Like now, even looking at it, I'm like, this is so cool. Like why haven't I worn it? But the lesson I learned with this shirt is that I need to find things that are livable colors. I have really been focusing on thrifting colors that I love and that bring out my features and that I feel comfortable in. And I thought this was such a fun piece. However, it's not very livable in my life. I think the blue with the hot pink with the kind of magenta color, it just isn't very wearable. And I think with the shirt and the style that it is, it just doesn't quite fit into my life like I thought it would. So yeah, that's the main lesson from this one. Get livable colors, colors that aren't obnoxious. We want color, but not obnoxious. So sadly, this was a fail. I'm tempted to keep this in my closet for just another summer to see if I end up wearing this. Maybe this would be a good workout shirt. I still think it's cute, but it just is a fail because I just haven't worn it. Yeah, it just goes to show that you can stretch your boundaries with color, but don't go too far. So far that you don't wear it. The next thrift fail is this blouse. This is a universal thread, really pretty, really cute blouse, kind of checkered and floral. And that's where I went wrong. One of the lessons I learned with this is that patterns matter. I remember finding this and thinking it was so cute. I love the blue little flowers and how they're all different colors of blue, but the checkered in between isn't really, like, I like floral and I like checkered, but I don't like them both together. And I think that's why I've never worn this, which is so sad because I was so excited when I thrifted it and I still think it's cute. Like I really like it, but it's just not quite right, so I never reach for it. I think another lesson that I learned with this is make sure that it's what you like and not almost there. I think with this, I just was like, wow, like out of all the stuff I was looking at that kind of sucked, this just seems so much cuter. But because of the checkered, because of like the pattern of it, it was cute and almost there, but not perfect. Thus led me to choosing other things in my closet over this because it just wasn't quite right. This was also a size small actually, but it is really oversized and kind of big, which I love an oversized fit, but some pieces are just better when they're in your size, especially a nice blouse like this. I think if it was a little bit smaller, I might wear it more, but because of the pattern, because it's not quite right, and because it's so big, I think that's another part of why I don't wear it. So miraculously, I actually did thrift something in my size. I thought this was a medium at first, but it is a small, but the size is just so flowy, and with the pattern being so obnoxious and not quite what I want, I just never wear it. So I hope that I might wear this in the future. Maybe I'll try and push myself to wear it, but otherwise it's gonna be donated. So okay, this one is very embarrassing. I feel like this is just like represents my old habits with thrifting, and it's this hoodie. I'm so embarrassed because there is no reason why I should have gotten this, which then comes in our first lesson learned from this item is that you don't need to buy more of what you already have. I have so many gray, comfy hoodies. I don't know why I bought another one. That comes lesson number 2. Just because you can get it doesn't mean that you should. At this point, I have returned some jeans that I had thrifted and got credit at Goodwill to purchase something else. And I was looking through things and I like needed to get something, but I picked this instead of some of the other things that I probably would have worn more often. I think I've worn this once when I first got it. Otherwise, I just pick out other hoodies that are more sentimental to me. So I think that's the third lesson with this one, is that try to make it sentimental. I feel like since it's not a place that I, you know, even know where this is, know what it is, I'm just even less likely to wear it because I'd rather wear a gray hoodie that actually has some sort of connection to me. And the fourth lesson, we learned a lot from this hoodie. I think maybe just for that makes it worth it. But the fourth lesson would be stop buying things that are raggy and just for lounging around the house. I have so many things like that, so many things from college, so many things from my time in Austin and everything, and that I've collected over the years. I don't really need any more raggy hoodies. I do make exceptions to this sometimes, but I think I need to be more strict with myself about it because this was just so pointless. I wish I would have gotten a sweater, a long sleeve, something else other than this. So this was definitely a big fail and I'm very embarrassed about it. But hopefully we learn from it. Next thrift fail is this vintage men's sweater. I didn't thrift this with you guys, but it wasn't a haul, actually, a winter haul. This is actually from the men's store at Sears, which I thought at the time was so cool. And it is. There's a couple things with this that make it a fail. Number one is the feeling. This is the biggest lesson I learned from this one, is that the feeling of your clothes matters. Don't thrift it if it doesn't feel good. This one doesn't feel terrible, I will say. Like, I don't completely mind it, but it's just not quite right. Like, it's not soft enough for me. At the time, I remember I just needed more sweaters because I had just moved from Texas, kind of had gotten rid of my sweaters over time and needed more for living in the Midwest. The second lesson from this is don't just buy it because it's vintage. I think I saw the tag and saw that it just looked so cool, but it doesn't mean that it's going to fit in your life or that it's a valuable piece to you just because it seems like valuable because it's vintage. I also just haven't worn it that much. Out of all the thrift fails, I definitely have worn this one more than the others. But the third lesson with this is that your color analysis really does matter. At the time when I thrifted this, I was still trying to figure out how to thrift for my color analysis, my color season. I think if I were to find this piece now at the thrift store, I would pass right by it because it's just too dark. It has specks of green, but it has a little bit more gray black to it, and especially from afar it just looks black. It doesn't look green. It's not a fun piece for me to put on. It doesn't inspire me in any way. It's just very boring, which at the time I was okay with boring, but now I just like, it's not fun. I look at it and it's just so depressing. So definitely thrifting your color season is definitely worth it. It makes a really big difference on if you're gonna wear a piece or not. The next piece that I regret thrifting, sadly, has probably been the piece out of all of these that has been in my closet the longest. It is this Zara dress, which is such a great find. This is actually in my size, so props to me. It is an extra small. However, there's a couple things with this dress that I realized made it a fail and led me to only wear it one time, I think, which is so sad because, again, great find, but just because it's a great find doesn't mean it's a great find for you. Don't get boring colors. Get colors in your color season in that don't wash you out. Make sure it's a color that actually is wearable for you. I love a tan, I love a white. So I think I thought at the time, what's wrong with this? Like, this seems like this could go with anything. And I loved the gingham. This is such a cute gingham dress, which I had been looking for at the time, but the colors were not right. Every time I wear this dress and put it on, I feel like it washes me out. It just drains me of life. It's not very fun. It's such a fun dress, but I feel like the color on me sadly just doesn't look very fun. I know that this on someone else would look gorgeous, but on me, it's just not it. The second lesson from this dress is don't buy the idea of a piece. When I was thrifting this, I just envisioned, because at the time we were about to, you know, start our family, I was thinking about being a mom, and I'm just like, this is exactly the piece that me as a mom would wear, me as a wife, like this is just so beautiful. And yes, like that is like on my Pinterest board, like this is like what the version of me would wear. But in reality, is it practical? Not really. Like this isn't really quite the dress that is as functional for that right now for me in my life. So don't just thrift the idea of a piece. I've done that many times, but this one especially I remember doing because I didn't have many dresses at the time. I was looking for longer dresses, which is honestly really hard to thrift. And I just took it and ran with it, and it ended up being a fail. You won't wear something if the neckline is bad. So this has a very deep V, and it's even deeper than maybe it seems like it is. It really goes like down to where your bottom bra strap would be. And because it's not like tight or anything, like if I'm bending down, you can see a lot more than I would like. The neckline just bothers me. I'm not really a V-cut person. Like, I mean, this is mine because it's like a cardigan, but I'm not a huge V-cut person, especially in certain things like sweaters I don't mind, but dresses and t-shirts and more like form-fitting things where you don't have something underneath, V-cut is just not my style. So whenever I'll try it on as an option for an outfit, it's mainly the color and the neckline that I just take it off and put on something more comfortable. So I don't feel very confident in this dress for that reason. This has definitely been one of those pieces that has been something I'll try on because I think it'll be great. The idea of it in my mind is amazing, and then I take it off and try on something else. What would that be called? Like, you know how girls talk about like they're the girl before the girl?
I also feel like I'm the girl before the one. I'm not the one. I'm the girl you think is the one for you. And when it doesn't work out with me, you meet the next girl and realize she is the one you're gonna stay with.
This is the dress before the dress. This is the dress that I date and try on before I meet the dress that I get married to, if that makes sense. Again, for that reason, I'm getting rid of this dress. It's sad and it's such a good find, but not the dress for me. Thank you for not judging my thrift fails. I'm sure we all have them, and like I said, I've definitely had more over the years that are probably worse than this. I'm just thankful that I've learned a lot over the years of thrifting, and I definitely still have my fails here and there, but I definitely have been way more selective about what I'm thrifting. So like I said, I hope this helps you in your thrifting journey, and maybe you can kind of try and evaluate some of the pieces in your closet that you aren't wearing and kind of create a list of why. I feel like this is really helpful, and the fails definitely keep me motivated and keep me more of a sharper thrifter than the wins do, because I know the feeling of purchasing something that you never wear and it just sits there and you were so excited about it. Maybe that's the overall lesson, is just because you're excited about it at the thrift store doesn't mean you're going to wear it. All these pieces, as you guys know, I was so excited about, and they haven't really been worn. All right, you guys, that is all I have for this laundry chat. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. I do a lot of thrifting content, lifestyle content, faith content. So if you like all of that, be sure to subscribe and join the laundry chat. I put out videos every week, and I will see you in the next laundry chat.